I'm literally embarrassed if anyone is watching this. Why am I even making this video? I kept a journal while traveling. I will now be reading an old journal entry which I wrote on September 4th, 2013, the day I left home. Today I left home. It's my first day of being a vagabond, and now let me tell you the shitty part. That's right. Day one and crap has already happened. That pisses me off. Well, my flight left at 7:35 a.m., so I had to get up ridiculously early, like 3:45 a.m., to leave at 4 a.m. and make it to Dallas on time. There might have been more traffic or something because I didn't get to the airport until 6:50 a.m. Now remember, my flight left at 7:35 a.m. There still should be time. So I would have thought maybe have been enough time to make it to the gate, maybe if I hurried after going through security, but no. They said I was too late and that they were done boarding and closed the gates to board. And of course, the next flight isn't until the same time the next morning. So I'm just going to sit in this airport all day and night until then. But, oh wait, not only that, I thought you were supposed to be able to check one bag for free. Usually it's that way, but not this shitty airline, I guess. Oh, and that's not all. I also had to pay $50 more for getting put on a later flight. My bag is too large to be a carry-on, and it costs like $50 to check it. Oh, and also, I'm not allowed to get it checked until 4 hours before my flight leaves, which is at 3:30 a.m., which means I'm stuck in the baggage claim area until then. Luckily, they sell crappy sandwiches in the vending machines. I really didn't want to spend my first day away from home sitting in an airport for 24 hours, but I guess shit just happens. I could have gotten a hotel room, but then I would have had to pay probably at least $70+ and gotten up early as hell and taken a taxi back here to the airport. So fuck that. Actually, my backpack makes an alright pillow. I was supposed to meet my friend Cody in New York City today. I've already been there before, but he called me one night and said that he wanted to go to this big tennis thing called the US Open. He's never been there, and really wanted me to go with him since I have been there before, and it would have been better if he wasn't alone.
This is exciting!
This is exciting. Okay, we're at a hotel room in New York City.
Are you filming it right now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god.
And
we're at a hotel room in New York City, about to leave, although Benjamin wants to go to sleep, because he
Shut up! No, this is not going to be in the documentary.
You have to talk about it.
No!
It's what happened. This is for memories. Benjamin missed his flight. I had to be in New York City all by myself. And then he forgets his phone charger. Then his camera almost doesn't work.
I might have it in there, actually.
He might have it in there. And he's late. I've already done a bunch of stuff without him, so let's try to go do something with him, but, you know.
But now I want to say, at that time, I didn't understand the concept of low-cost carriers, meaning I learned the system from experience throughout time. The cheapest way to fly from point A to point B is indeed via low-cost carrier, as the name suggests. However, they will charge you for things that main airlines don't, and you could very easily end up paying more. For example, a regular big airline usually includes 1 or 2 checked bags. The price of the ticket is higher than LCC from the start, however the price is the same whether you check a bag or not. Furthermore, it wasn't right for me to call Spirit a shitty airline for doing things that are normal for a low-cost carrier to do. At least I was able to board a later flight without having to pay for a whole new ticket, and when I read my old journal complaining about a $50 charge, I sound like a spoiled, ungrateful ass clown. And alas, I must confess, I'm making this video more for myself than for anyone watching, in order to analyze my past. 'Cause let's be honest, this is a small channel. I doubt anyone is still watching up to this point, and if they are, they're probably smashing that dislike button. I wasn't just upset that I had to pay a fee for being put on a later flight, but also because my flight hadn't left yet. After I had traveled the world for almost a year and a half, I finally decided to start a travel blog. In January 2015, I wrote about this experience. I tried to arrive at the airport earlier than 6:50 a.m., but I'm still surprised I could not board 40 minutes before my flight left. The plane hadn't even taken off yet, but they definitely weren't going to open the boarding gate again just for me. I had flown before several times, and I have never had to pay more for checking one bag. I thought that was supposed to be included in the ticket like most airlines. However, I should have read the fine print. By the way, the name of the airline is Spirit Airlines. I Google searched Spirit Airlines and wow, look what I found on the first page of the Google search results. A Facebook page called Boycott Spirit Airlines with 35,919 likes? Yikes. So I'm not the only one who didn't have a good experience with them. However, I'm not trying to write this post as a review, and I don't necessarily believe that Spirit Airlines is a shitty airline, but there is a good chance that they are shitty, especially after seeing the Google search results. I wrote in my journal at the time that they were shitty because I was angry and wanted to complain. However, even with the extra $50 for checking a bag, the flight would still be cheaper than if I had flown with another airline. But maybe not cheaper with the other $50 charge for being too late, but cheaper if I had been on time. And they got me to my destination safely. Wow. When I wrote that blog post, I missed a golden opportunity to joke that Spirit Airlines didn't turn me into a spirit. Anyway, it's nice to see that in retrospect, I acknowledged my bias. And now, I am retrospecting my retrospect. Re-retrospect. Is that a word? I no longer think that the ticket would have been the same price or higher with the inclusion of a fee for taking a later flight, as I stated here. After all, Spirit is an ultra low-cost carrier. Therefore, it's pretty possible that even with an extra $100 in charges, it still was cheaper than taking a regular airline. In conclusion, I was insecure and don't like admitting that I'm wrong. But it wasn't Spirit's fault that traffic was bad or that special construction was going on. I had used that airport plenty of times before, and from experience, I left home with a reasonable amount of time. If my flight was on a different day, hypothetically, and I left home at the same time, then I probably would have made it to the airport on time most days. I was unlucky that day. It's easy for friends to assume that I was irresponsible. And yes, I could have done better, but I still think I did pretty good. It's just that pretty good wasn't good enough. It wasn't easy for me to get up that early, especially back then. That's why it's hard for me to feel that I was blatantly irresponsible. If the airport allowed me to go through security, it's possible that I could have ran to the gate and caught my flight in time. But it's also possible that I would have missed it. I was cutting it close. They didn't even let me try, and the cutoff time has to be decided somewhere. In retrospect, I can understand now that the line has to be drawn somewhere. Well, that's my completely honest experience. Make sure you get to the airport on time, even if it means waking up earlier than 3:45 a.m. Probably it would have been easier to have stayed up all night.